All right, but what's
You
good,
like my hat?
I love it. You got
like
the same
my,
hat on today.
My hat?
You have the same hat on.
The
We
P.E.G. podcast
we
hat.
have the same hat on today. Spreading that positivity, that love. Surprised you had it on. Because you talked about how big your head was.
Yeah, I have an enormous head.
Ah man. But
I was worried the hat wasn't gonna fit.
But it fits.
I got it on the last notch.
It barely squeezes.
These two flaps right here are going like this right now.
But you already know, man. It's your one that only soul for goddess herself. Shark, come back at you once again here at the P.E.G. podcast. And, man, I got to bring my boy MYKO, on the beats back because he got an album dropping.
Got an album dropping.
You want to talk about it?
I want to talk about it.
So let's talk about it. All right, press that follow button and let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So, Mike, you got an album coming out.
I got an album coming out.
Yeah, let's tell the people a little bit about the album. Why did you wanted to put it out, and when you put it out?
Well, in general, as an artist, I just feel like putting out albums on a fairly consistent basis is important. Other than that, no real reason.
No.
It's a sequel, really,
From another album?
From Back to the Base. Which came out. So the Cliffside Goat is coming out this April.
Okay.
April 2nd, 2024. Back to the Base came out April 2nd, 2023.
Oh, so it's like a anniversary gift?
Sort of. April 2nd, 2010 was the day I wrote my first rap song.
Oh.
So it's
So
an
it's your
anniversary.
album.
It's an anniversary.
Okay.
I consider it my music birthday, April 2nd. So.
That's
Plus,
very good.
I found that I have a really comfortable flow with working all fall and winter on the album.
Okay.
Because I'm doing more work then, but I get the holidays too, so it balances out.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the spring, drop the album in time for South by Southwest, in time for the weather to get nice, so I can go perform.
Yeah.
And then perform all summer while releasing more music throughout the summer, of course, after the album.
So did you go to any of the events this South by Southwest?
I did. I went to Mixed Media 24 with there was the Waco crew.
Private hip hop.
Private hip hop headquarters.
Okay.
Shout out Prescription.
Shout out.
Put me in the position to do work.
Yeah.
I did a little set on there. I didn't know it, but the mic was dying during my set. And I thought I was just tired and losing energy or something. I was like, why is it harder for me to hear myself? And I'm rapping louder, and I'm noticing this on like the harder parts of the songs now. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get this bar out. And then I look down while Einstein's performing because I had him on one of my songs. I look down and the light is flashing red. I'm like, oh, hey DJ,
can we get a recharge?
Let's get this.
How did it go? Was it really dope?
It went well, yeah.
Okay, I liked it. I
had
know
my
y'all
fun.
killed it.
I took a handful of business cards and threw them out into the crowd.
Like it was money?
Like it was
you
money.
don't get a card.
MYKOSummit.com.
Should have dropped the mic and just threw it.
And then later on, I was sitting outside talking with a couple of the other artists, and one of the people from the venue was like, "Hey, I loved what you did. Are you gonna pick those up?" I was like, "Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna pick them up. I just want to give everybody else a chance to pick them up first, but I'm not gonna leave them on your floor now."
Hold on, is this?
He's like, "You did so good.
But
can you pick those up?"
It's like, don't be tearing my place up. Nah, I love it, man. It definitely seemed like a very big event that a lot of people got a chance to showcase themselves at, so that's fire. I did listen to the album, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna talk about my favorite song. Favorite one, Cliffside.
Cliffside, track 1.
Yeah. Hey, and then Goat was the next one, but Cliffside though, it had the right beat. It took you to a whole different world.
Yeah.
I feel like each song you was like in a whole different genre. That's what it felt.
That's what I'm trying to do. Is I like a lot of different things, so I make a lot of different things. And going even further, you notice there was like pop punk and like pop songs and all different genres. Even compared to how I always have a variety, but now I'm going even further. And I feel like I wanted that to tie. I did it because I wanted to, but also to tie in with the theme of the album, which is the Cliffside Goat. And you remember the album last year was Back to the Base. That's me starting over. That is the first album under my name, MYKO Summit, because I had changed my name. So I had to start over in ways, and that's where songs like Square One came in.
Yeah.
But Back to the Base, that was the start. Now Cliffside Goat what that is that's when you're on the side of the mountain, and you're the goat, but you're standing and you're up there. People are like, how is he doing that?
Yeah, like how is he on the side of that?
But low key, you're like, all right.
I'm kind of stuck.
I'm trying to get up further than this. What can I do? And that's the obstacles. Like, oh, I don't have quite enough money for music videos. I don't have, and I say it in the song.
Yeah, I definitely like that because it took me back. I'm not gonna lie, it felt like I was like back in high school listening to some old school jams. Like even watch like Disney Channel, and they used to have the songs playing while the movie's playing. Yeah, and it's like, was it On My Way that you had? That was one of the songs.
Yeah, a lot of commercial sounding.
Yeah,
like,
it definitely
this is
sounded
supposed to
like
be
that.
in like a coming of age movie type thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Especially On My Way, I was like, oh, it got like this grimy rock to it.
Yeah.
But it was still vibed out.
Yeah.
You don't really hear a lot of artists make those type of music these days. That's fine. Sound.
Not around here. Not around here.
Yeah, no. Is there one in particular that you can come off your head with that has that sound? As far as artists.
For around here?
No. That you may know.
Well, I know that the local level scene, not our local scene, but the scene of independent musicians, there are so many.
Okay.
I don't think I can think of any off the top of my head specifically, but there's definitely there are definitely other artists tapping that sound.
Was there one that inspired you to do that sound, or you just wanted to do that sound?
It's just a good sound. I feel like and then technically it wasn't my idea to do. I would have done it eventually, but Be Down actually he was the chorus on My Way, and the third verse, the telephone phone call part. This was actually a song he was working on, and I was his engineer. But then he passed away.
Oh, snap.
And this is a song that I actually took it upon myself. He was trying something different with that song. That's not his normal sound. That pop rock.
Dang.
Yeah, he passed away in September.
Oh, dang, R.I.P.
Right.
He was an artist out here?
He was right out of Copper Cove, yeah.
Oh, man. That's sad now.
DJ. He is the photographer that took the photos I used for the cover art for Back to the Base and for the Cliffside Goat, and several other projects. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. But I definitely like the tribute that you made to him. That was pretty fire.
Yeah, I wanted to. This isn't the only song of his that I was working on with him. There were a couple other I dropped before the album, No Fangs, and Before I Drown. Those are both songs that Be Down and I were working on together. But this one, On My Way, that's a song Be Down was just working on, and I took it upon myself to finish. I wasn't originally on it, but I ran it by his wife and everything, and I was like, did I do good? Did I do it justice? Yeah. Can I put this out like this? And
no, you definitely did the justice to it. What the song that I heard I think it was called Gold. That one sounded like an anthem.
That one's like a victorious. I was low key. What is it? Trophies by Drake?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's like, all right, I'm about to go on the football game. I'm about to do this basketball game. We about to win.
Yeah, I
wanted hyped up. That's what it made me think of.
Because the album is the whole album is very, I'm trying really hard to push forward. But I wanted to make it clear right off the jump. We are winning.
We are winning.
There's
no doubt about that.
It's a slow win, but we are winning. Like I'm not settling for silver or bronze. This isn't. Should I give up? No, of course I'm not giving up. I'm figuring out how to go get the gold.
Yeah. There's 10 songs.
11
songs. I'm sorry, 11 songs on there. Which songs that you felt that was a little bit more challenging than others? Because certain songs could be right up your alley and they're easy to write. Then you have ones that are more challenging. Which one of those was more challenging for that?
Let me look at the track list. I know that one of the tracks called Doing Something Right. That was a more sexual song. That is not something I write very often. I had a song like that on Back to the Base as well.
Was it awkward?
It's... I don't know about awkward. I didn't feel awkward because it's not something that comes naturally to me to write about.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not. I don't think about sex a lot, but at the same time, it's part of my life. So
you're an adult, a grown.
I'm grown.
Adult, and
I got listeners who are grown.
A lot.
Not a lot.
I got you.
I'm always where's the track
every blue
list?
moon.
So it was a unique challenge to kind of make that song.
How could you write that song from a person that really don't speak on that topic much? It wasn't weird. I don't think were you on a feature with that one?
No, all these songs are. There was no feature on that one.
Okay.
No, doing something right. I was channeling kind of. How can I make a sexy song but make it like Cliffside Goat themed in the sense that it's not all good? You know, how do you make a sex? The goal I wanted there was you don't really hear a lot about being insecure about sex in songs. No. So, like, I wanted to do a song where it's like, it's still sexually confident in ways it would have to be, but it's like, one of the lines is that I come quick, or one of the lines is that I don't have a lot of sex. How do I know I'm good at it?
So it's like the other side. Like, everybody talk about the good side of sex that happens.
I'm going to get you right. I'm going to knee you down. So it's like, for me, I'm like, I'm going to try my darndest.
What if I only got 1 second or 2 minutes in the game? Like,
yeah.
I got you.
And it's the bar of the song is I must be doing something right. I can feel how you're reacting. Yeah. So I think I am doing, a good job. But it's like,
It's like listening to a virgin.
And it's like a lot of men feel the same way, and they aren't represented in songs, So it's like that was a tough one to write. Because how do you write that,
I don't know. I think a lot of men probably been embarrassed to write it from that perspective. Yeah. But you was like, I don't even know if I'm doing it right. Am I doing it right?
Like I hope so. My intentions are good. I feel like I'm getting into heaven.
Not like it. It definitely showed the awkwardness of sex.
It can be. It can be awkward.
Well, what was there another one that was a little challenging to write from a perspective that you don't really talk from?
The rest of them were pretty up my alley perspective wise. I will say Champions was hard to that was difficult to perform it. It was a more like Gold. It's a very simple song. It's like don't settle for silver, don't settle for bronze. Yeah. But with Champions, that verse was more acrobatic. There's a lot more intricacy going on. It's a harder verse to spit. Not necessarily to write, but to spit.
Did you do the music in the song?
I did not make all the beats on this album, but I did make the beats for Lip Sync, Champions, and Feel It Coming.
Feel It Coming. Lip Sync was good too.
Lip Sync was a lot of fun. I didn't know how that was going to sound. When I started making the beat, all I knew was the hook, which was going to be me saying, these rappers aren't talking about anything. Lip sync. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Lip sync. And then there was going to be a drop. I didn't know what the drop was going to sound like.
Yeah.
I was kind of taking inspiration from dubstep back in the day or trap step or stuff like that, like an EDM drop, I didn't know what the rest of the beat was going to sound like. And it ended up becoming kind of a DJ Mustard sounding.
No, it does. It got you put that on the club and you start bumping it, it'll go crazy. Crazy, at a rave.
I love DJ Mustard type beats. That's one of my favorite, probably top 5 producers for me. Is DJ Mustard because of how recognizable his sound is.
Hey, shout out to DJ Mustard, man. So after the album, is there another project you've jumped in to work on coming to, or?
I have an Excel document full of what I'm doing for the next 3 years at any given time.
Well, next year you put out another album that will commemorate the stepping stone.
It is intended for the Cliffside Goat and Back to the Base to be a trilogy. There is a third one I'm planning, but I won't say much about that now. The Cliffside Goat comes out April 2nd. I don't know when this interview comes out, but if it's already April 2nd, go listen to it.
Okay.
Apple Music, Spotify, everything.
It'll be out before April 2nd. But before you made the album, you had the first the Goat album. No.
Back to the Base.
Back to the Base album. What's different from this album versus the Back to the Base album?
Back to the Base was written at a time where I was recovering from being basically kicked around by life a fair amount.
Okay.
Whereas the Cliffside Goat was written partly in a place of comfort, but also the desire to push forward.
Okay.
So Back to the Base is very, I'm starting over, let's hit the ground running. And Cliffside Goat is very, what now? What do I do? What can I do? Kind of the the struggles of being in between. Like, things are great. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Here are my complaints.
Here are my complaints. I can't complain, but
I have some.
And
right. And it's intended trilogy-wise for the next one to be P.E.G. themed. You know, you have the bass, you have the Cliffside, you have the P.E.G. That's so. I want the music to reflect that.
I saw that you didn't have the boy Einstein on there.
This was
what happened.
So there was gonna be a song, and this is I've been making music since 2010. Like I said, every single project of mine has featured Einstein on it.
Yeah.
And now this will be the first one ever that doesn't. The only other one that didn't was mine and Texas project that we did after Back to the Base last summer.
Yeah.
We did a little 6-track Hitman for Hire. But that was a collab album and a little collab EP, and it makes sense for Einstein to have not been on that because it was just a short thing. It was just a short collab thing. But this is the first body of work that's mine and full length that didn't have Einstein on it. What happened is there was a song he did a hook for. And I wrote a verse. Yeah, I had him write the hook. He killed the hook. And I wrote a verse. I didn't like how my verse came out. I was having a hard time getting in contact with the guy who I wanted on verse 2. His phone was doing some weird stuff. I don't know.
He was watching it. I'm just kidding. He was like,
he was looking and saying, I'm not going to do this verse. No.
Yeah, my phone right now is acting weird.
No, it was just, there were going to be like 14 songs on this, and there ended up being 11. So just like, you know, a couple others that ended up just being one that didn't get done in time, basically. But that song isn't going in the trash by any means. I mean, he killed that hook. I don't really like my verse. I think I needed to do some different things with that verse. So I'm going to be rewriting my verse, but yeah, that song with Einstein is still going to come to light. It just didn't make it to the track list.
Okay.
There's a couple songs like that, and they're all like, I think all of them are still going to happen.
So what would be the reason why because you're prime example of an artist, but what's the reason why you dropped the album instead of singles?
Well, I like to have albums come out consistently because I just try to follow like the pattern of what do mainstream artists do. They drop albums fairly consistently.
They'll drop albums more than singles?
I don't think more than singles, but I've dropped a few singles. Like, the singles are for the album.
Okay, got you.
But I dropped Gold in January, and I dropped On My Way on Valentine's Day, and then I dropped Lip Sync in March, all to lead up to the album.
Gotcha.
And then after this, I'm dropping another single in May that's by me and Big R, and that's going to lead up to an EP we are working on together. And then I'm going to do like a sequel to Hitman for Hire with XMF, and there's going to be singles for that come out first.
Okay. So it's basically like
most of the singles are for an album.
For the album.
There are a couple of singles that don't belong to an album, like Got It Good, the one with the Michael Marshall who sang I Got 5 on it.
Yeah.
That one didn't go on an album. That one's just a single,
Okay. I mean, because you'll hear a lot of artists be like, well, I'd rather put out singles. I'd rather put out albums. I do EPs. So that's why I was asking, why would you rather put out singles than an album? But you put out the singles to lead up to the album.
What I think I might do, and this is all, who knows what's going to happen, after the P.E.G. album, the third in the trilogy, I think I might switch to just singles. And that's what I do. After I finish an album, I switch to free play mode. I'll do features. I'll write songs that are intended to just be singles, but then I'll be like, we have so many songs now, let's make an album.
Yeah, let's make an album. Because you had 3 songs that you just talked about that was on the album. So. And
then I feel like you have to space them out if they're singles. Like if I made like these 11 songs, right? First of all, I don't think, not necessarily every one of them.
But songs also can get lost in a single. I mean, in an album. You can have 11 songs like you have, and then people will only stick to that one, and then they don't even check out the rest, and then this could be a good song there, but they only got stuck on one.
They get lost, I think singles can get lost, too. It's all about whether the people listen.
Yeah, you're right. I love it. So you got to go check out his new album that's coming out. And like I said, my favorite song is Cliffside. So you definitely got to go check that out. What message would you want the people to know about this album that signifies you, the whole thing? that represents you?
What do I want them to take away from the album about me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I write about myself for the most part, but I really want them to take away something for themselves more than I would want them to take away something for me.
Okay.
Which is, probably along the lines of don't give up and, believe in yourself.
Yeah, because I mean,
that
that's
kind
what
of
this.
stuff.
That's
it's
what
the
you
positive
said.
energy.
Yeah, because that's what you said. The album is essentially about. Like, it was in a rough spot, and now I'm in an okay spot, and I'm still.
I'm
going.
in an okay spot, but it's still, it's not weird to feel like you're a little bit behind when you're on a good track.
Yeah.
Keep it positive, keep it pushing, but also don't think it's weird. Like, people are afraid to turn 30.
I turned 30. I wasn't afraid, but my wife was.
I'm about to turn 30 this year.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm not worried about it. This feels like it's going to be 20s part 2.
Yes.
At least for me.
Stretch a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stretch a lot.
Gotta get healthy.
I swear, the next day after I turned 30, I got sick. And I was like, what the heck?
It's
happening.
It's
right? It's happening.
It's happening.
Everybody around me was like, you're getting old. I'm like, hey, this is the new 20. So like you said, stretch. That's all I can say. And I keep going, man. You're not going backwards. You're going forward.
Yeah, we got to.
So keep going, keep pushing. I appreciate you actually sharing the album with me because I jammed with it all night last night. And I was like, I wanted to make sure I come on here and tell you my thoughts of the album, what I really took away from it. And I heard all that. He said encouragement, showing that you could keep going. It was anthems on there. Like I said, you can see people, when I listen to certain songs, I can see them coming out the tunnel with that song, or I can see them on a video game with that song, or on a commercial.
I appreciate it. That's what I need to do. I need to find those connections to get on to.
I mean, you got all these high schools around here. You see if they can come out to your song and get that preview to it. Yeah, that'll be dope.
Trying to get Netflix placement.
Hey,
I might have to settle for Tubi first.
Yeah, you may have to settle for Tubi. You may have to. It's some
get a song on Tubi.
Vivica A. Fox is on Tubi, so hey, you can be on Tubi too.
That's right.
Hey man, I like it. Thank you for coming to share the album with us.
Thank you for having me.
If y'all can do him a favor, April 2nd, the album is dropping. Go tear it up. Go follow. Show him love, and tell him which single you like the best on the album. Mine is Cliffside. In gold. And on my way. So almost the whole album. And we appreciate y'all. Nobody told y'all today or tomorrow that we love you. Sorry for the P.E.G podcast. Loves you. Hey, he came and shared his album with y'all. He love you. MYKO SUMMIT. And keep living to inspire. Let's get it. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I don't even know why I had to say this. Peace.